Yo, what's up? Alex Kiel here again. Just wanted to show you some stuff that I do while mixing or editing live drums for Cory Wong. I'll be working on a song called Grid Generation today, and we do a lot of live recording, a lot of live taping for Cory. Anytime you see his Spotify live stuff, any YouTube stuff, we're actually taking all that through my MacBook Air into a Pro Tools rig and recording, and then I sit down with it, edit it with Cory, mix it with Cory, and then we get it pushed out into either YouTube or Spotify. So this is a whole breakdown of kind of what we do on the drum side of things to make him sound as live as possible, but as clean as possible. All right, so mainly what I'm going to show you is within the Pro Tools session that you're seeing here in a second is what I do with drums. It is not a lot. I am not a mixer. I would say myself more as a production and songwriter. But when working with Cory, when we're going through a lot of these live things, you know, he had a template that was set up pretty well. And then I've made a lot of tweaks throughout the past couple of years of just working with him. So when we get into here, I'm just going to kind of play a clip right from the top, just kind of get you a sense of what the song is about. Right away is the intro that we're getting. I'm just going to solo the drums that are coming out right at that top. Just kind of get you an idea of what's happening. Extremely dry, like shockingly, compared to what we were listening to before. Hearing people yell in there. Even just adding the room mics that come in. Just bringing those room mics and bringing that live sound adds so much. Just as a room mic would be in any setting that we're doing in a studio setting, you know, just making the drums sound really live. And then also remembering we have amp mics that are sitting on there. We have horn mics, 5 horn mics. Now, granted, they're relatively far away, but still picking up all of that sound and really creating a nice live sound for what these drums are doing. Diving in more into the drum sound here, I'm going to go forward into Petar's drum solo on this to give you an idea and also to show how badass he is. This drum's now muted, soloed. When I'm using 4 drums, particularly on the live side, I use Oxford drum gate a ton, and actually this is a reference from Cory. Cory's always had this on here, so I guess maybe, you know, more from him than from me. But using the detection thing on here is incredible. It dries up the signal unbelievably. If I were to take this off right now and just solo the kick, let me do that really quick. So here's with the kick. Are going crazy, right? This is with the Oxford drum gate on. If I were to bypass this, this is what we're getting. Listen to all that snare sound that's coming through. Toms, so much happening, especially with how you know, fine-tuned this music is, how fast tempo it is. Having it as clean as possible so that we're not muddying up the mix when we're pushing this stuff out for live is so important. And Cory recognized that when he put this on here. Then regarding, I mean, honestly, just on the kick, we're at a little bit of EQ. You can see here. You'll see certain points within this EQ is, I mean, there's a lot on here. So I can see that I probably added one, and then Cory added one, and then, they just kind of keep getting added, and we forget to delete them. That's just what ends up happening after the amount of sessions that we go through. And then compression. I always EQ before compression. That's always the way I've learned how to do it, taking out a lot of the crap that you don't want in there, and then putting a little bit of compressor on the kick. You're going to see it on the snare. You're going to see it on the drum bus. You're going to see it on the overheads. It just lives. And it really helps bring everything to life. I'm using the Wolf compressor, obviously from Cory, being Wolfpack guy. The punch and crutch setting on here is incredible. It does so much. And just bringing down the Wolf setting down to like 23% even on what it's set here, it just makes such a big difference as far as the liveliness that you're going to get out of the entire kit. If I were to just even solo, again, we're on the kick. If I were to solo this, now I'm bypassing, bring it back in. It just like that extra punch that it brings is wild. We're only at 23%. I'm not pushing the compression to 45%. It's not like it's like boosting it a ton, but it's enough to really make its presence felt within the mix. Now going down to like, we have a kick trigger here that pretty self-explanatory. Just adding low end to really help with that sub. I have kick out. We don't really honestly have much kick out that's coming through. Cory used to have it at zero, like negative. We didn't even have it being in there at all. But I did like some of the punch that it was giving coming through, so I did start bringing it up in mixes, and it started feeling really good, especially with that compressor on there. Snare top, again, really, really simple. We're gonna have the same thing. Oxford drum gate on here, EQ, and Wolf compressor. Got to catch all of that stuff that's happening that he's doing. I mean, that's listen, this is insane. Like we have to catch all of the stuff that's actually happening. So you'd be like, oh, that's so crazy. You're using a drum gate. How are you able to catch all of those accents? It is so minute, but it still clears out a lot of the hi-hat sound that's coming through. So again, snare trigger, not super heavy, just helps build it a little bit. We have another snare triggers. Yeah, we use snare triggers, okay? Everybody does it. It's fine. Yeah, people. Snare bottom, bringing that snap in there, Petar does have a side snare, which we're not showing here just because the song doesn't use it. But if you listen to songs like Meditation as a great example, he's got the big Serbian snare, wooden snare that sounds incredible. And you can get a feel for that. Hats, racks, the clap stack that's in here. I mean, again, adding more ambiance, but when it comes through, it's incredible. I think at the top of Flamingo, I'm almost positive it uses the clap stack here. And I do have a dupe on here. If I go back to the top of that, hear Petar yelling. Again, nothing crazy. We have a gate on it. On the clap dupe, where I'm just putting the decapitator on it to have it pop a little bit more. There's really nothing crazy. An 1176 compressor. Yeah, honestly, the drums, it helps when you have somebody that's very good at drums, especially playing live. There's not a lot of editing that have to be done for these like faster tunes. But in general, the band is so tight. It's just really making sure that you make them sound already is how good they are. I don't need to put a ton of compression to like save something. And truly, the mastermind and the person that I care most about that makes this sound as good as possible is the front of house, Miles Hansen. The stems that I'm getting in, it just makes everything easier. So really quickly, listening down to this drum solo to kind of just give you an idea of what we were listening to prior and how the drums sit. Oh, one sec. Or coming in. Back in solo. Woo. I mean, yeah, that's the magic right there. Again, good player, easy compression, easy EQing, makes your life easier, learning how to balance things out. I'm not doing a lot, and it helps that I have professionals that are bringing in the stuff to where I don't have to do much. But yeah, that's pretty much it.